Hey folks, how you all doing? So today I'm going to be doing a competition video. This is for Stylus Meets Vinyl. It's his 1,000 subscriptions contest. Personally, had never heard of his channel before until earlier this morning, because you can't know every channel. You can't watch every channel. You just pick things up when people do contests and things like that. I have watched a couple of his videos now, really cool videos. I've watched the contest video as well, but I came across his channel via Morton Astad, Northern Vinyl Guy and Embryonic Robot, who all put entries into his contest. So that's how I came across his channel, watched a couple of videos, liked what I heard, and I'm going to enter his video. I have subscribed also to his channel. So it's quite a simple contest. He wants us to show an album by an artist from all 7 continents. So that's North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australasia / Oceania, and Antarctica. Obviously no one actually lives on Antarctica, so there's not really going to be any records made there other than a Metallica live album from at least a decade ago, I believe. But he did say think outside the box. If you haven't got any artist from any of these continents, just think outside the box and do something different. So it's a pretty loose competition to enter. That's not really steadfast. The other prerequisite is because he is Canadian, he wants us to show an album by a Canadian artist, and also to shout out a channel. I'm going to shout out a channel now, Vinyl Sean. Sean has been in the VC for approximately 8 months now. He's got 109 subscribers. Don't know, I think from memory he's got about 50 videos maybe. Quite eclectic in his music tastes. I always like shouting out a channel that has less subscribers than me, just to build up the channel, as people did to me when I started. So I'm just repaying that. So Vinyl Sean, head over there. There will be a link under this video, so you can skip over to his channel. There'll also be a link for the original video for this contest. So without further ado, let's get into this contest. So from North America, this is the 20th anniversary edition of Pieces for You by Jewel. She would probably be my favourite female singer of all time. If not, she would be very close to it. She hails from Homer in Alaska. Next up, we'll head to South America, and we have Shakira, who hails from Colombia. So there you go with that. Head across to Europe. I could have picked some European artists, but I thought my favourite band of all time comes from Europe. Well, UK actually. It's not the Beatles, by the way. It's not the Beatles. It's the Small Faces. To me, this is the #1 album of all time as well. Ogden's Nut Gone Flake, recorded and released in 1968. Forget about Stanley Unwin's little gobbledygook on side 2 of the album. You can skip through them, hopefully, on the compact disc, but it's an absolute masterclass of an album. Absolute masterclass. If all you know by the Small Faces is Itchy Park and Lazy Sunday, forget them. That's not your typical Small Faces sound. They're a really rough, ragged and heavy, solid R&B group. For those who also don't know, when Steve Marriott left the band, he formed Humble Pie, so there's one for you. Most people know Humble Pie, and the rest of the band basically became the Faces and brought Rod Stewart into the mix. So Rod Stewart was lead singer of the Faces, and they were his backing band on his first 4 albums, I believe, as well. So a lot of history with this band, a lot of great artists involved in them. Rod Stewart, Humble Pie, with Peter Frampton, etc, etc. So Small Faces for me. Next we'll head down to Oceania / Australasia. Banoffee, this is her debut album. Australian artist. I actually picked this up at a record fair of month, maybe 2 months ago. It was fairly cheap. Hadn't heard of the artist, didn't know anything about her, but just this album cover, I just found it fascinating. It was very dark and deep, sort of like something Marilyn Manson might do, and even when you look on the back cover there, it's almost Marilyn Manson-ish. So I picked it up. It was like $15, brand new, coloured vinyl. I think it's white vinyl, to be honest with you. But I can't quite recall, because I said I haven't played the album yet. I've listened to a couple of tracks on YouTube, and she's very much a pop singer, which totally is the complete opposite of what you would expect from this album cover. So yeah, Banoffee, an Australian artist. Next up, we'll head down to Antarctica. Don't have anything obviously by Antarctica, but I do have this album by Australian band Midnight Oil, Blue Sky Mine. The final track on the album is called Antarctica. So there you go, it's as close as I can get. I tried to find an album cover with a cover of a picture of Antarctica or penguins on it or something like that, but I just couldn't find one at the time, so I picked out this one with a song called Antarctica for you, mate. Next up, we'll head across to Asia, and we have Sasami. She's a Korean Japanese artist. I believe I don't know if she was born in the US, but her parents are Japanese / Korean, or she was born in Japan and went across to the US when she was very young. She's a classically trained musician as well. One of the woodwind instruments, I believe, is her classical instrument of choice. But there's a lot of stuff on here, lots of different genres. There's pop, there's classical, there's almost like a heavy sort of grungy couple of songs, sort of like Marilyn Manson. There you are, I've mentioned Marilyn Manson again. Pop songs. It's just a really, really good album. What a fabulous cover. There you are, Sasami. Next up, we'll head across to Africa. Number of artists I could have picked from Africa, but I actually didn't know this guy was African or South African until I went on the internet and typed in African music artists, African singers, and Orville Peck turned up. He's a country singer. I always thought he was American. I believe he lives in America. He is South African, and part of his thing is wearing a disguise on his face so you can't see his face. This is the only album of his I own. So, interesting guy. Finally, he wants us to show a Canadian artist. I was actually going to try and find Nickelback, but I couldn't find my Nickelback albums, and I am a big fan of Nickelback, by the way. Could have picked Neil Young, who's probably in my top 5 artists of all time, but then I thought this guy doesn't seem to get much love in the VC, so I ended up picking up Leonard Cohen. I have all of his albums. This just happens to be the first one I picked up. Dude never made a bad album in my opinion. Great artist, great lyricist. Like Dylan, just a great lyricist. So there you are, Leonard Cohen. For the Canucks out there, the Canadians. Anyway, that's my entry into your competition. So there you go. I'll let you know that it's all done. I'm fully subscribed, etc. And everyone else is in the contest. Good luck with your entries. Seen 3 good ones so far. So yeah, that's about all I can do for now. Vinyl Sean as well, as I said, I'll leave a link below for his channel if anyone wants to hop over there and see his channel. Till next time guys, stay safe, take care. All for now, catch you around, and bye folks.